First and 10 for Dalton. Boyd's the target, and he has it over the middle. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
And that was a good start getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
And they work this well upfield across the 45. And a nice gain of 21 yards.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a game in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opens things up for you on the outside as well.
That's where their big tight end, is so good, that middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well, and he's got it.
Now a first carry for Giovanni Bernard. Takes to midfield, but no further. Just a yard there.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D lineman to make the play.
And on third down, a nickel formation here defensively. From midfield here, Dalton. And Eifert has it. Give him 30 yards there.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So a big play as it gets them all the way down to the 20 now for first and 10. On the toss, Bernard. And he'll take this into the end zone. Now, hold on here. We do have a flag down. So let's see what this is about. Dalton gives to Bernard. And some space here. Bernard churning, and he lost the football. Now Bernard. No dice this go around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up third.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
Third down from the gun, Dalton. That's caught. It's Malone. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. They get only 4 that time. As that leads us to a 4th down. Here's Randy Bullock now as he'll go for the field goal. And Bullock will put this one through. And the Bengals are on the board first here. It's 3-0. So a nice drive on the road. You come in, you take the ball down, you get 3 points.
Yeah, points are a must on an opening drive, right? So they moved it down efficiently, got it done. I think that bodes well for their chances moving forward in this one.
This one fielded at the 5. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
A nice run here early on. It doesn't take a great play caller to realize you want to establish a guy of his caliber with runs like this early because they will pay dividends as the game progresses.
Now Rosen to throw on 2nd down. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the tuck rule that they can fall back on anymore.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. They go play action. It's Rosen. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. Johnson was the intended receiver.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? To the left side here for Eifert. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down for them.
He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
All right, quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, you can see what they wanted to do. They wanted to set up the screen there, but it got blown up.
It's hard to run that play if you're not getting a lot of pressure at the quarterback because the space doesn't open up. They were able to read that one and slow it down and stop it before they could get a 1st down.
And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is.
Everything looked good. Good snap, good hold. Sometimes, though, the ball just doesn't want to go where you want it. And this one winds up no good.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or do you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here. On second down, Johnson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks.
Well, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. Throwing now, Rosen on 1st down. And he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the 1st quarter of play. Ready to go now in the 2nd quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. From the gun, it's Rosen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Picked off Byron Jones. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost. So
it does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the ball. But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch? And guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Dalton throwing on 2nd down. Over the middle, complete. It's Boyd. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. 23 yards on the play. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up 1st and 10. And he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far. Dalton with a give here to Mixon. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The rush defense stout on 1st down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. And his throw's going to be incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. And now it's 3rd down. Defensively, celebration time, because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. The Cards get to him here. He's brought down for a sack. Robert Kindici able to get him down for a loss of 11 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, on comes the left-footed punter, Kevin Huber, to punt it away. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. So out now come the Cardinals. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit, like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? And maybe you have to be stern with him. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
They begin the drive with Johnson. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Right off the bat, it's a 1st down to start the drive, 12 yards.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
No. Check. Patriot.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They pitch it out to Johnson. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
When I watch plays like that, I give a lot of thanks that my DNA did not make me an offensive tackle, because that is a very difficult job to hold your block against a really good defensive end and hang on to it so your runner can get to the edge and do it without holding. I don't know that that's really possible for very many people.
On 3rd down, Rosen. David Johnson here on the catch. That one good for 16, and the drive will continue.
Thus far, it hasn't been a real fun half for them, but a play like that may get them off the schneid a little bit, get them loosened up and moving.
Kind of seems like they've been sleepwalking and still sitting on 0 points.
And it's not always making an adjustment. Sometimes it's just going back to what you know can work and finally getting it done.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. More from the desert after this. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32.
Hurry up, here we go. Green.
They go back to the ground with Johnson. He only got a couple on that one, so not a ton of help. They'll have a 3rd and 8 forthcoming.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch him now, Barney.
On 3rd down, Johnson. And he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. 4 yards on the pickup there, but it's going to take him to 4th down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
And his kick here is good. And that will tie us at 3-3. So 3 drives now for this offense, and that field goal gives them their first 3 points.
So if you're an offensive coordinator and you're averaging a point a drive, you're in the wrong line of work, aren't you? You got to find a way to unlock the key to these defenses and put some big points on the board.
And he'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now, meanwhile, here's a second down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. The offense on third down tonight, they've only converted once in 4 tries. They're looking at third and a few inches. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Malone. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Got to say, I was a little surprised to see him, Charles, come out in the shotgun on third. Looking for his tight end, Eifert, and it's intercepted. Picked off around the 41. And the return here will go to the 31-yard line. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On second down, here's Rosen. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is going to be intercepted. William Jackson with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. The stop for no gain brings up 2nd and 10 from the 20.
52-44. Get ready for 57 over there.
Here's Bernard. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. So we've reached halftime in a low-scoring affair, just a pair of field goals. 3-3 is our score. As now we send you out to Orlando and hook back up with Jonathan Coachman for our EA Sports Halftime Report. Second half ready to roll. 2 field goals, the combined output in half number 1. Could be first touchdown wins. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They have a chance to break our tie here as we get a look at the first drive of quarter 3.
And it's such a tone setter, isn't it? Because both sides trying to seize momentum to begin the half. What do they have dialed up that'll give them an advantage to move the ball downfield?
Let's find out what they have dialed up. And they start the second half with Johnson. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And it's complete. The tight end, Deion Sims. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. A gain of 32 that time. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Watch it now, Barney.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Jesse Bates made the tackle from his safety spot.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19.
On second down, Rosen. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10.
Now let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And room there to work it inside the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Over.
They go to Johnson again. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. The Cardinals on 3rd down, just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the shotgun, it's Rosen. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll be inside the 25 now at the 24. Good defense holds them to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. And before this 4th and 3 play, we're going to get whistles and a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And this one is right through. And they will take the lead here in this battle of field goals at 6-3. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here are the Bengals now as they get their first possession of this second half. They trail offense, first time to touch the ball in quarter 3, and we'll see what they can do.
And I can't wait to see what they have planned, because some teams script to start a half. Other teams just go, okay, these are the sequence of plays we want to run. These things worked well for us. And sometimes they throw in that big chunk play right away.
Shocker.
Try and get after them early and try and create a big play to give themselves some momentum.
See what they have up their sleeve. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
Over here, yes.
They'll run it here with Bernard. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. Just a couple on the ground there, and that's going to bring up 3rd and about 6.
I have to think a major focus of the halftime meetings had to be figuring out how to create space for the running game to get operating.
Well, what you pointed out to me at half seems accurate. That line has struggled to sustain blocks.
Yeah, I would agree with that totally. They've got to focus on staying on their double teams at the first level, make sure that block's secured before they slide off and try and chip someone at the second level.
Caught, Eifert over the middle, and brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. Dalton to his big target, Eifert for the Cincinnati first. 5th catch of the game for him there. Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. Used to be occasional, right, safety valve, throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver. Losing yardage on the play back at the 44. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down. Second down, Dalton. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass. Now the Bengals on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 11. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. He's got his man here. It's Green. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. A.J. Green, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Bengals are in for 6. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
Bullock out now to kick this one away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I've never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that, that weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
Now Rosen. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. It'll be a gain of 4. And that is going to set up a 3rd and 1.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56. Watch it now, Barney.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Detroit!
Now a play fake here on first down. Trying to drop one in, but it's incomplete. Deion Sims is tight end, the intended target. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Rosen again on 2nd and 10. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. With that matchup, the adjustment that was made, you have a blazing guy on a blazing guy, and defensively, he won that battle.
The closing speed is the key. When you have a guy that fast and he can close at the end of a play and knock it away, that's a big deal, and we just saw him do it right there.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's 1st and 10. Welcome back to the desert. We're in Glendale. It's been a very hotly contested game to this point. Just a field goal separating these two teams as we get set for the 4th quarter. We saw a number of good games earlier today. This one might top all of those. It's been a dandy as we come up on 1st and 10.
Hurry up, here we go. 3-19. 3-19.
Rosen to throw again. In the middle of the field, he's got Nelson. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll look to throw on 1st down with Josh Rosen. Flush to his right. And he just gets rid of it. Throws it away. A wise move there. Looked like nobody open. Now 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Here's Johnson. He's been busy this afternoon. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more. It'll be a loss of 1, and that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11. Play action, Rosen. He's got his man on the crossing route. And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. A gain of 19 and picking up the first.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up 2nd down.
But it appears that they read man defense and went to the out route, and what you have to do on that one is the receiver's got to make sure he works the defender towards the middle of the field to give himself space to cut to the outside and have that ball delivered with good timing, and they got it done.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, get some 9 yards and a first. So there you go. Save your best scramble of the day for a big-time situation in the 4th quarter, picking up the first.
You don't want to use it up early, right? You want to make sure you save it for that exact moment, that key time. And that's what he did, although you and I both know it wasn't planned that way. But what a nice job using his eyes, scanning the field, and realizing when it was time to exit the pocket and go.
Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal. And they'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he'll get him a bit closer as he's down to the 2-yard line. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
Well, big man with ball met bigger man on the other side of the line. A really nice play for the defense.
No. Check. Patriot.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he pushes forward but comes up short of the goal line as he'll get a yard down to about the 1.
Well, he did get a taste the previous week. He got into the end zone trying his best to get there in this game. So far, he's been denied.
And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Another stop on 3rd down, and this defense still hasn't allowed a touchdown to this point.
And his kick is indeed good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. Well, you talk about clutch. That one was right down Broadway, and this game's all even here in the 4th.
Yeah, he didn't leave any doubt, did he? Good snap, good hold, dead center. Almost like a big-time golfer in a major, firing at a pin from the fairway, trying to win the tournament going down the stretch.
And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. Now this Bengals offensive unit ready to see what they can do here. So here's Dalton and the Bengals now, 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line.
5-0.
They'll begin here with Bernard. And he went backwards. He'll be down at the 30. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. And the trend continues here in the 4th like it was in the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd. He's had nowhere to run.
And you're probably thinking to yourself, why do they keep feeding him the football? Well, they trust him first and foremost. They do believe that over time he might actually pop one of these runs. But bottom line is he takes care of the ball well for them, so they'll keep handing it to him.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Dalton. Eluding and eventually taken down here. Great coverage downfield. Corey Peters coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Dalton here from the gun. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Chandler Jones in there to take him down and to take us to the 2-minute warning. Here's Kevin Huber now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help win the contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped in the contract time. You could have kicked that one through. David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 4th touchdown on the year. And the Cardinals are in for 6.
Hey, that score deserves our respect, deserves our excitement. But I'm looking at the clock and I'm thinking, there's a long way to go in this one.
Ideally, they would have liked to milk a little bit more time off. Now on the other sideline, you start to get the crew together and say, this is what we practiced the 2-minute drill for, right?
Yeah, you hope you've been in that situation before, and if you haven't, you just have the confidence, hey, let's go down there and get this thing done. But, boy, that's a big score right there to give him the advantage.
And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. He'll look to throw. And caught, right side, Green. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Now the Bengals urging everybody to get back to the line of scrimmage.
368.
Back to throw. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And a very good return as he'll take it all the way up to the 40-yard line.
Because of Patrick Peterson, I don't think that there's a skill position he can't play. How about his hands? That interception just sealed a victory for his team.
Rosen and the Cardinals take over with a 1st and 10. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. And he takes this up right near the 45-yard line. And now the Bengals are going to call another timeout. as they get the stoppage with just over a minute to go in the game. Here's a 20 carry for Johnson, and he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here, as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. The Cardinals on third down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation. It's a gain of 8 there, and that should be enough to seal the victory.
Well, you know me, partner. I never tell them to back off of being aggressive, but sometimes you see the consequences when you're overly aggressive and you don't secure tackles. Guys break through.
Trying to sell out to pry that football loose, and just as you said, cost some yardage.
Yeah, you got to go get him. Stand him up first before you go for the ball. Don't just go for it initially.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. Charles, why didn't they just take the knee there?
You're asking the question that I'm asking as well, because we've seen a lot of football where coaches decide maybe they get a little greedy. I don't know if they're doing it for stats or for what reason. We've seen it happen in college. And how about in the NFL? The miracle of the Meadowlands. All they had to do was take a knee and the game was over. The Giants ran it one more time. Ball popped free. Philadelphia picks it up and wins the game.
What year was that?
1978. I think it was in November.
And, Charles, I think when the schedule comes out, all teams, no matter where they're predicted to finish, talk about protecting your home turf. They were able to do that here in this one.
Similar to a tennis match, right? Not letting them break your serve. That way you hold on to it. They got it done, and they feel very good about that victory.
So for the Cardinals, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they will hit the road next week to take on the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Cincinnati, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll get the extra week to think about this one as they return to action in 2 weeks' time. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Look at the cash coming in. Come get your man, Slim Booker bugging me. Just need a bag, quit all that jaw jackery. Don't even be that, I don't want none of it. He's mad about it, had enough of it. Whoa, watch what you saying, how that poppin' and shaking. Y'all is a lazy, my posse deep and I raiding. We act a fool for the paper, had a dream and I made it. El Camino on Dayton's, bitches guess over bait. Put the bread on me. I'ma bake it, big it flat in the bacon. I might just roll out today. I might just roll out to Vegas, head back to my old ways. Cop a roof all day. Look at me, baby. Look at me, baby. Don't I look like a million? I'm about to clean out the safe. Don't I look like somebody that talking is great, but I don't be talking. I air it out. All the problems have gotten easy to bury. I'd rather kiss on my. I've been broke way longer than I've been rich, so until it levels out, I'ma take mama to the Marriott and took me so long to get it, gonna spread it out. Let them know all about me when I'm dead and gone. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. One in the hand, one in the bag, bubble. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. One in the hand, one in the hand, one in the hand, one in the bag, bubbling. Look at the cash, look at the cash, bubbling. Look at the cash, bubbling. I'ma need all the fries you can give me, all the hot sauce, all the pie you can give me. Better be all or nothing, don't have me in the middle. You better be all you can, yeah. Super fly for the dumbos, plenty slides like a shuffle. Hit the cadence on my young Isaac Hayes, Billy Ocean, but the old with the cane stick. Let my slippers at the function. It's hard to run the Gucci slides. That bet you say you didn't never. I'ma step no. Jackie Chan, no travel. Can't clean it with the beat. Dripping from the. No, Lord, not me. I can never be the one you want to stuff for. Money, that machine. Ferragamo stove. R.I.P. the times that I was broke. After life in 9/11, folks. Matte black, liquor clean. Dead places in and I'm a local. Cooking up canard. Waiting for the antidote. Running out of time. Pictures thinner than a pantyhose.
Never get empty your pockets. I don't do that. You might press me. You do what I tell you. Get over here. He's gonna get nasty.
One in the hand, one in the bag, one in the hand, one in
I did, boy.